It is full time in Auckland, and what a game of rugby. The All Blacks too good for Ireland on the day. But if you watch the game too, the first thing obviously I want to congratulate New Zealand on what they've done, right? They comfortably beat the Irish side. However, I also want to congratulate Ireland because they kept New Zealand below 50 points. They were really solid in defence, and keeping New Zealand, below 50 points in Eden Park isn't something that many teams have done over the years. Eden Park, some big nations have fallen over there, some big nations have struggled and have conceded a lot of points. And I think Ireland weren't that bad on the day. I think that New Zealand were just too good on the day, literally. So all throughout the game, I take some notes so I'm not thinking out loud when I make these videos. I really enjoyed the game. I really did. I thought it would be closer before the game, but then when I saw New Zealand come out guns blazing, I thought it won't be as close as it actually was, right? Ireland could have even finished within 7 and got 2 bonus points. They'll regret that they're going to leave Auckland and leave this whole Southern Hemisphere trip without really having taken a point in New Zealand. Like France took 2, right? And France and Ireland are maybe with England, right, going to be competing for the first spot in the Northern Hemisphere. My first point was Prendergast, Sam Prendergast. Missed 3 from 4 tackles within the first 25 minutes, according to the French commentary that I was listening to. By the way, the French commentary, so poor. Mac Oxley, that's how they call the Ireland number 12. Stuart McCloskey. Mac Oxley, that's how they call him. All throughout the game, they were just calling him by his wrong name. Worst commentary ever. This is on French national TV, like the number 1 channel. Like literally, you with your remote control, you press number 1. That was where the game was being showcased. By the way, they could only show the first half because France versus Japan is now live, and I'm missing key points of it. It's 8:21 as I speak. Anyway, so Prendergast then threw it into touch when Ireland had their first real chance, a line break. I don't know about Prendergast. I thought that he was a good player. He is a good player, but there's just too many things that he does that I don't really like. I didn't think that he was... Well, he's not a very good tackler, right? He's maybe a little bit afraid in some occasions. Do you remember Jonathan Sexton, how close he would take the ball to the line? And then he would... he would always get smashed, right? He would always sort of end up with some damaged ribs at the end of each game. And Prendergast doesn't quite go that extra inch like Sexton used to. And maybe that's a difference. Maybe he's just a little bit scared on the day. I mean, I can't blame him for being scared of getting hit by the All Blacks 100 times a game. But I was a bit disappointed in his kicking also. The high ball, his kicks were just not great. I mean, he did find a couple good touches, though. I'll give him credit for that. But then he also missed a couple. Who else really do Ireland play at 10? I don't think Crowley is much better, having seen him play for Munster. That could be Ireland's problem. New Zealand, though, however, the All Blacks have found their number 10, I believe. Ruben Love was a good guy on the day. I think he was better than last week against Italy and better than against France. I believe he played against France, didn't he? That's 2 weeks back, but I can't quite remember. I'm not Irish, but I was fuming at them for conceding that silly try. So they came back to 14-7, and the next move they try and, whatever they were trying to do on their 5-meter line, concede a try, and that was like, sort of, that kind of moment. And it must have been infuriating for Andy Faz. He must have been so pissed at that. I know it annoys me when I watch my sort of Porte deux club. I'm a Brive fan. Brive are our team that plays in the French league. They often do that. They're going to sort of open the scoreline 3-0 and then fumble the kickback and then just concede a try. It's just terrible. Anyway, I was going to say, respect to the Irish defence. Busy all evening in Auckland. Big shift to keep that informed All Blacks team under... Well, they scored 40 points, right? I would say that's kind of the normal tariff, really. That's the normal stuff that you expect at Eden Park. New Zealand were very good. They were very good. I am scared of the All Blacks again. I wasn't too sure about the All Blacks in the last couple of years. There's been, I think, that big defeat to the Boks, losing badly against England. Last year was sort of the All Blacks once again sort of dipping down, being not the team that they could have been. Then they got rid of their coach and new things on offer. They were very good today. Full house at Eden Park, to be expected, right? Is there any Kiwi that can tell me what the kind of pricing is? How much does it cost you, a week before the game, or just, before it gets sold out, right? If you're not buying your ticket 6 months in advance, how much will that set you back to go and see All Blacks versus Ireland in Eden Park? Let me know. I'm quite curious. I thought that, what's he called? Cam Roygaard was solid. He's solid. I like Ratimo also. He's kind of looks like the younger brother of Sasha Zegner, right? The German guy. Maybe he's also German in the back of, I don't know. No, he's not German. But yeah, you'd have to let me know if the All Blacks are actively recruiting in Germany. That's the sort of rugby innovation at its finest. And yeah, ultimately, New Zealand are back, right? Were they ever gone? Maybe not, but they're back. I mean, that's a statement win. I don't think Ireland challenged them as much as France did, right? If you're a New Zealand fan watching this, you may just still be worried because of what you saw 2 weeks ago where, look, a B team from France pushed you very close. Now, the All Blacks were missing some key players too. Look, I agree, and I'm not being biased because I love the French. I just think that there's still a lot of areas to improve for the All Blacks. What they were very good at today is just holding the ball and not trying to play this sort of brand of rugby that's too risky against teams like Ireland and France. This flair rugby where it can all go wrong very quickly. They had a bit of both. They had a very strong defence. They only conceded 3 tries against the Irish. Not bad. Ireland can score a lot of tries when they're on form. So I would credit this victory maybe sort of 2/3 to New Zealand, and also I'd sort of credit this victory. I'd blame Ireland. I'd give 1/3 of the reason to the fact that Ireland were quite poor actually on the day with their attack. Right, their attack was too predictable. Their attacking set pieces were way too predictable. I love Balakoon, by the way. You'd probably agree with me as an All Black or an Irish fan watching this. Balakoon is a strong player. It's a shame he keeps getting injured. He's very good. I wish we could see him more. What a player. Who else started for Ireland? Frawley wasn't that bad. He could have done a bit better in some instances. There was a really nice kick towards the end. That could have changed the game. 35-21 on the board. Prendergast, crossfield kick to Frawley. I thought that he cut in a bit too soon. Maybe he should have, waited a little bit more before cutting in. That could have been a try. Suddenly he scores under the post, 35-28 with 5 minutes to go. Different game, but overall New Zealand too good on the day. Congratulations. So the final score was 40-21. I look forward to seeing New Zealand travel in Europe, come around the second sort of round, the Northern Series of this Rugby Championship. Sorry, the Nations Championship. Too many things going on in rugby. Just used to be a simple game, didn't it? And yeah, I think Ireland, wins to Japan and Australia, but they do have to play South Africa. They do have to play Fiji. They should be fine. And who else do they have to play? Argentina. Yeah. If they can beat South Africa, if Ireland can beat South Africa, then they might finish first, right? Because France would have to beat South Africa too if they want to finish France. Both teams, assuming that France win, will be on 2 victories going into 2 out of 3 going into the home series. Who do you think is going to finish first in the Northern Hemisphere? And if it's not too early to predict, who do you think is going to finish first in the Southern Hemisphere? Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Really impressed with the All Blacks today. And there's a lot more rugby to watch for today. So see you soon on the channel. Bye-bye.